I'm Michael Henry, and in this video, we're going to be talking about why people go plant-based and how you can do it too. Plant-based eating does not mean full vegan or full vegetarian. You can still eat meat and have dairy on a plant-based diet. Plant-based foods or plant-based dieting basically means that you're incorporating more or predominantly most of the food that you eat is coming from plant-based foods. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have meat and you're not allowed to have dairy. A couple reasons why people go plant-based. Besides the ethical reasons and the environmental reasons, we're going to focus today on the health reasons. So when we eat meat, meat is actually digested in the body in a very difficult way. It uses a lot of energy for it to digest, so therefore whenever we eat a lot of meat in either a meal or throughout the day, or it's basically the main staple in our meals, we use a lot of energy, digestive energy, to be able to digest that food. So whenever we reduce that meat intake in our meals and incorporate more plant-based foods, the plant-based foods actually digest much faster and we actually increase our energy levels. The best way to get started on a plant-based diet is to not go full tilt into vegan or vegetarian, completely cutting out meat and completely cutting out dairy. That can be very hard on the body to get used to, as well as your lifestyle. So I encourage you to test it out and try reducing the amount of meat that you consume in a day, in a week, and basically try to incorporate more plant-based foods. So here are some plant-based foods that you can try out to basically supplement and complement your meals. First of all, if you're eating a large variety of plant-based foods, whether it be vegetables and fruits, you're going to incorporate some protein, very small amounts, but some protein collectively throughout that smorgasbord of vegetables and fruits. In other ways to complement it, you can use beans, like legumes, kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas or garbanzo beans. You can use lentils, red or green lentils, and also you can use non-GMO soy products like tofu, tempeh, or seitan. Other easy on-the-go plant-based protein snacks involve a lot of nuts, seeds, or peanut butter or other nut butters. A vegan and vegetarian diet is not necessarily for everyone, but plant-based eating is. Plant-based eating, like I said at the beginning of this video, just means incorporating more plant-based focused foods than it does meat and dairy products. If you're tackling the idea of going full vegan, you need to consider how you're going to supplement your vitamin B12. And the reason for that is because vitamin B12 does not come in any plant-based products. It only comes from animal-based products, unless you can buy something from the grocery store that infuses or fortifies B12 into the foods. The conversation around protein when it comes to plant-based eating is, I'm not going to get enough protein if I'm on a plant-based diet. But the reality is there are tons of foods that incorporate a lot of protein in a plant-based diet. And finally, no matter which dietary lifestyle that you've chosen, whether it be vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, or carnivore, there's a certain amount of protein that you need every single day in your body to function. And that is 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. So if you weigh somewhere around 120 pounds, you're looking at about approximately 55 grams of protein throughout your day. So you can spread that out between 3 meals and the snacks as well. Now, if you weigh something like 180 pounds, you're looking at about 65 to 70 grams of protein per day. Now, the differences here is that if you're exercising, you're quite active, and your body is burning a lot of more calories, you're going to need to consume more protein. How much more protein? About double. So we're looking at about 0.72 grams per pound of body weight. So if you're 120 pounds and you're exercising regularly, maybe 3 to 4 or 5 times per week, you're going to try to consume somewhere around 80 to 85 grams of protein per day. And if you're about 180 pounds, you're going to be trying to consume somewhere around maybe 130 or 140 grams of protein per day. So when it comes to preparing your meal and ensuring that you're getting enough protein in your plant-based diet, just make sure you're looking at your plate and there's something in there that has some sort of protein base. And if you're not too familiar on what type of foods have protein bases, do your research. Go back to the list that I just shared with you and that'll give you some variety of ideas of what type of foods, plant-based, provide protein, as well as complementing it with some meat or some eggs or some other dairy products. The main point is that make sure that each meal has at least some protein in it to complement your carbohydrate and fat intake as well. And it's simple as that. If you're interested in incorporating more plant-based foods into your diet, you don't need to go crazy, you don't need to go full tilt, and you don't need to throw away meat and dairy into your life. Simply incorporate more plant-based foods into your diet and make sure that you're getting enough protein by following those guidelines that we showed you earlier. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.